And guys, just full disclosure here. This motor I'm doing for me. If I was doing this for somebody else, I'd be done right now, because there's too many things that I'm finding on this thing that ain't right. It just ain't right. These cylinders, look, I don't know if you can see, but see this here? I mean, that's pitted bad. I'm Marty Moore, owner and driver of the Hemi Express Wheel Standard. Welcome to my hot rod garage. All right, I'm going to try to show you what I'm doing here because I'm cheap, really. But these lifters, guys, these, here you can see what we got. If you can see down in here, I'm trying to show you. A lot of these things was froze up. I mean, I'm trying to do it with one hand here, but see, that's not moving. I got it soaking. I've had them soaking for a couple days. Here's some of the ones I've got done already. Let's see what this should be here. You should be able to see that? Work that plunger like that. Those should be free to work like that. These, they're all froze up. That was moving. That was locked up. So anyhow, is this one that I done? Yeah. So see, these are, they're new. They're cleaning up. I've got just a few that's, this was the worst one here that looked like it was, but I think it's just stained. I think it'll be all right. That's the worst one. But they're all freeing up. But anyhow, I'm going to show you here. I got one of these things apart. I'll show you how to take it apart, and then I'll put this one back together. But after I clean it up. But all right, here we go. All right, guys, I apologize. I'm not a real good videographer, and I realize that. Maybe someday I'll be able to get me a camera guy, but not yet. But anyhow, I'll show you how to take one of these things apart. That one's loose. These clips, guys, right here, these clips, you want to be very careful because they will leave. They will leave, and then you wind up spending hours hunting for them. So keep your finger on those. Come on, baby. You don't want to bend them. There we go. So there's that little clip. And then I'm taking my little pick here. Just trying to take these. Come on. There it comes. See, this is a separate piece in here. So we want to get that out. And then, should be able to get, there it comes apart. You see what I got here? I've had these things soaking, guys, so they're a mess. They're a mess there. And then I'm going through and cleaning all this up. Trying to clean all that up. So, but I won't bore you with that because it takes me a while to clean that up. So let me show you here. I got this one done and ready to put back together. So there you can see I've got this one all cleaned up. See, those are new. And I guess I could buy new lifters, but I don't know. I'm a cheap guy, and these being as old as they are, these are probably better lifters than I would buy. I got my little PB Blast here. So I want to lube that up good. And then here, put that spring back on there. Lube the outside of this up good. put that together, make sure that's working good. Take my little piece here. Make sure it goes back together the way you took it apart. And then here's the little cup. Put that back in there. And then take my little clip. Snap ring pliers. And make sure that's down in there. And then see that one working there now? See, that's how it should be. And that is, I think these lifters will be fine, guys. All right, guys, here we are getting ready to put this motor back together. I'm gonna clean this thing up, and tomorrow up here in Northeast Ohio, it's supposed to be up in the 50s, so I'm gonna push it out and pressure wash it and get it ready to put back together. And guys, just full disclosure here, this motor I'm doing for me. If I was doing this for somebody else, I'd be done right now, because there's too many things that I'm finding on this thing that ain't right. It just ain't right. These cylinders, look, I don't know if you can see, but see this here? I mean, that's pitted bad. That's pitted bad. I honed it, you know, what I could, but some of these just don't, they don't look good. And like I say, I'm just being honest. And if I was doing this motor for somebody, I would quit right now. I'd say, no, I'm not putting this together like this. I mean, we ridge reamed this, we honed the cylinders, and I just don't like it. I would tell them, I'd say, nope, you know, I ain't gonna do you that way. You know, we're gonna bore it and put new pistons in it. This one rod right here, I don't know if you guys can see what I'm seeing, but I think that's got a bend in it right there, right at the bottom. But I kind of convinced myself that it was a bad casting and maybe it was drilled straight, but I don't know. To me, that sure looks like it's got a little curve right there at the bottom. So, like I say, if I was doing this for somebody, I would not do it. I would go ahead and bore it and put new pistons and stuff in it. Like I say, the lifter bores. But what we'll do, and I'll keep you apprised on this, this is like this is 2, 4, 6, and 8. So like this one here, this pitted bad, when we get it done, when we run it, we'll do a compression check and see. It's like, okay, well, some of these good cylinders were, I don't know, let's say we're, you know, 160, 170 or something. What will this one be? You know, 120? I don't know, but like I say, it's for me, so we'll do it. And like my Uncle Jess used to say, this is only a test. This is only a test. We might get this thing back together and it not run for crap, or it might be a good running motor. And I'll say, well, hey guys, you seen what we started with and what we got. So we'll find out together. All right, man, what we're doing here, these lifter bores, I got my lifters, and for whatever reason, these lifters, they're tight in here. See, I got a lot of, and those have to be able to zoom in on that, Don. See, I'm having to push that pretty hard to get that lifter to, and those lifters got to be able to spin in there. And I've got oil on this. See, they're tight. See, I can't even get that one. Zoom in there. Can you see? See that thing? So what I'm going to try to do, this is something new for me. See over here, Don? I ordered a couple of these flex hones, and these are 940s, which is what a Chrysler lifter bore is. This is a 320 grit. This one's a 240 grit. So what I'm going to try to do is hone these lifter bores a little bit. Get some oil on that. I'll just do this center one so we can see it pretty good. Now let's see what that does. Like I say, guys, this is a lot of new stuff for me. Experimental, but like I say, this is my motor, so if I screw it up, oh well, I screwed it up. So now let's see how them lifters. Still seems very tight in there. I want to make sure that those things are loose so they can spin in there. All right, so anyhow, that's what we're going to do. We're going to work on them bores. See if we can't get them lifters to spin a little bit better in there. Best garage tool ever. You know, PB blast, this flash rust here. We don't want that to get out of hand on us.
This one is as good as it.
Even after all the cleaning, you still get.
Oh, that's amazing. Isn't it? That's why it's important to change your oil.
This is the worst cylinder here. See, that's pitted pretty good, but I honed it all all I dared hone it. Some down in the lifter board because I done them up pretty good yesterday. For whatever reason, those lifters were tight. And the only thing I can think of is the stuff that was on the block. That old assembly loop. It's been on there for like 15 years. Somehow like impregnated that and got, I don't know, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. What I want to do, let me get my these should be, you see me check all that yesterday. Yeah, see how I can just kind of kick those up now? And before I couldn't even push them down in there. See there, you're getting that out there. Look at that! Threw it right out of there. But that's what you want, guys, because these lifters, they have to spin. And if they don't spin like that, they'll wear out. Unbelievable how quick they'll wear out. All right, what we're doing now, and I know you guys think this ain't important, but guys, take your thread chaser. Take your thread chaser through every, and I'm talking every hole. Every hole. Every one. It takes a while, but trust me, you'll be glad that you did in the end. So I'm gonna get sticks here to hold my camera while I do the other side. Guys, this is tedious work here, I know. But trust me, if you've ever done this, and then you're torquing ahead and you get, your torque wrench goes off and you're still not tight on your head, you'll be like, oh man, and then it messes you up. So it just takes a little bit to just go through. And a lot of guys like to run taps. I don't run taps. I got these thread chasers. You can buy them pretty inexpensive. I think these are Hobo Freight. Keep them clean, and just like I say, it'll take a while, but just run them through. It's worth it in the long run, trust me. Some of them's no problem, they run right in, and other ones not so much. All right, guess what I get to do now? I'm going to spend my day today. Here's my head bolts. See this, guys? See these head bolts? It looks like they got this black RTV on all these, which I don't understand. So let me tell you something. I'm a Mopar guy, but for all you Chevy guys, see this? These head bolts, none of them are open to water jackets. None of them. So there is no reason, see, all of them, none of them are open to the water jackets. So there's no reason why you would put this black silicone crap on these bolts. So I'm going to spend the day getting all those cleaned up. What I always use on the bolts, which they're ARP fasteners, so I always use the ARP stuff. Who knows more about fasteners than them? Their fastener Disassembly lubricant. And trust me, guys, I worked in the gas industry, so there's all the time questions, because when we put the flanges on, we had to torque the bolts. There were nylon or Teflon coated bolts, and some guys they like to just use oil. Other people put anti-seize on them. Other guys moly lube. Always a big argument about what you should put on the bolt. Should you put anything on Teflon bolts? Should you just put them in like that, oil them, or whatever? So, like I say, ARP, they make the fasteners, so I use their stuff. All right, guys, you seen us struggling with these valves the other day. You know how sometimes you make a purchase and it's a bad purchase, and sometimes it's a good purchase. I had my valve spring compressor, but it was the kind that you could use on or off the motor. It was too hard to hold these heads. I bought this. My old one was one of the old ones. It looked like vice grips, and it was all bent up. This is a Pro Form. I ordered it from Summit. And guys, I got to tell you, this thing works great. Let me move my head back here where I can get to it. So much easier than what I was doing with that other one. You put that baby right on there just like that, and you crank her down, and you flip your little caps off. One, two. There they are. Super easy. Super easy. And guys, this stuff here, I don't know if you can see this. Whoever put this together, this assembly lube that they used, this stuff is like glue. See it in there? And see them valves? I can't hardly push them. It like hardened, it's like glue in there. So I'm taking everything apart and cleaning it. You blame me for that? Like I say, they probably wouldn't have stuck, but I ain't gonna chance it. At this point, all I'm out's my time. See that stuff? It's just like glue. And I don't know, of course, me being me, I'm trying to video here. I made myself a little thing here, so I'm going to keep the valves in order that I'm taking them out. I mean, I don't know if I would have to, but I'm going to, just because I think it's a good plan. Know what I mean? And then I'm going to clean all this stuff. Like I say, this stuff is like, it's like glue. It's like super sticky. But like I say, this one's heavy duty. It shouldn't be like my old one that I'm going to break it. But like I say, it's a Pro Form, I think is the brand name of it. I got it from Summit. Get them keepers off there. See that? Uh-oh, somebody's here. See them valves almost stuck in there. Like I say, it's like glue. It's the old assembly lube, but like I say, this motor was assembled like 15 years ago or something. And the stuff just got tacky, and I'm just gonna clean everything up. Guys, I wasn't going to video this, but I am, because I'm aggravated. I am just aggravated here. Why would, this is why I don't like working behind people. Look at this. This is your oil hole. This is where your oil comes from. Why would you do that? All right, guys, here, rant on again. Look what I'm doing here. I got these new ARP head bolts right here. Zoom in, Don. See this? Look at this. See this black RTV on that? You can't do that, guys. That changes the torque value on that bolt, on the head bolt, and it's slathered on all these. And like I told you, see, on a big block Chrysler, there's no need, there's none of these head bolts are open to water passages. So don't put this black RTV on these bolts. And if you want the proper torque value, which ARP, they're ARP bolts, so we're better than, right here, ARP, this is the stuff that they recommend. So use this on it. A lot of guys will use Motley Lube or Anacys or whatever. This is what I always use. So I gotta make sure all this RTV is cleaned off the threads of these bolts. Get it all out of there. And it's a pain in the butt because I can't put them in my parts washer because the solvent won't cut the RTV. But make sure that that's all out of there. And then that way we put that in there, then use the assembly lube and then torque it to the specs, and we're good to go. Okay, rant over again, second time. I promise, no more rants. All right, guys, here I'm trying something new. I've never done this before. I'm getting ready to paint this motor because this turquoise, I can't live with this turquoise. And if you see my garage, you can tell I'm the Hemi orange guy. So I got this new stuff, motor coater, and it says you can brush it on. I'm getting that just because I don't want to spray it in the garage here. It's too cold to take outside. So I've got, this is motor coater here, Street Hemi Orange. Now guys, I have no way of proving this because it's never been dynoed, but I have had people tell me that they have painted Hemi Orange over Chevy Orange on motors and actually got more horsepower and torque just by painting it. Now I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm telling you, the Hemi Orange does good. The Chevy Orange, it's horsepower, you gotta put tractor gears to get them to pull themselves up and down the road. So anyhow, we're gonna try some of this and see how it goes. Like I say, I've never done this before, so we'll see how it works. Brushing it on instead of spraying it. Got some cheap brushes here, just use them and then throw them away. Use them one time in the kitchen. All right, boys and girls, it takes a lot to impress me, but I'll tell you what, I'm somewhat impressed with this stuff. Look at this. The brush strokes, like they said, this is just one coat. and I only used about half of this motor coater. I have no sponsors, so I don't know, maybe somebody will see this and maybe I'll get some sponsors someday. But like I say, this is Street Hemi Orange, which, like I say, you Chevy guys, you put this Street Hemi Orange on your motor, you gain another 10, 20 horse and all kind of torque. Like I say, I can't prove it, but look at that. It, like I say, I'm kind of impressed. For this old junk motor. I shouldn't say junk that I'm putting back together. Guys, this thing, the more I get into this, the more I'm finding that my buddy Bart tells me, Marty, take your glasses off and put the motor together. Quit looking. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to, it is what it is. It's an old motor, and it's the heads, they didn't have seats in them. They didn't have new guides in them, but they don't appear too bad. So I'm just going to put it back together and we'll see what we got. But like I say, so far, motor coater, engine enamel, thumbs up. All right, guys, we got the crank laid in there. I got my plastic gauge here. I'm just going to check, make sure this is together right. Your plastic gauge on one side is millimeters, and on the other side is inches. I just marked it in red so I don't have to fight it when I cut the little bit of pieces off, so I know which side I'm looking at. So here you can zoom in so you see my little piece of plastic gauge there. I'm just going to check a few of these journals. I got it on 1 and 3 here, so we'll see what that is. So here's our number 1. Got the bearing in there. Guys, if it don't look like I know what I'm doing, I really don't. It's no act. Okay, there's 1. Here's 3. We'll put these in and tighten them up and see where we're at. This motor is, like I say, the more I work on this, the more aggravated I get, but all right, I'm going to take this up in 2 steps, guys. These torque at 85. I've got this set at 55. Take her on up to 85. Hate it when you get old and you can't see. something like that. Something like that. All right. Now let's take it loose and see what we got. Hey! That sucked. Get a bigger reefy roister. See if I can get this off here without messing my plastic gauge up. Alright guys, now see what we got here. See how it mashes your plastic gauge out here? Then I can take my little gauge here. See right here is 3, 003 and 002. So we're just about 002. Maybe a little heavy, but that looks good. And then back here, let's look at this one. About the same. About the same. And like I say, if this was going to be, you know, a high dollar motor, I would check every one of those. But since it's not, I just checked a couple of them, and we'll pull the crank back out of it now. Go ahead and put oil on them bearings and put the crank in here. What I want to do is make sure that I get this cleared off my bearings. Let me get some parts cleaner and make sure that that is off my bearings. Or off my crank. That's the last thing you want, is any kind of crap on your crank. And then what we'll do is we check the, these are the mains. Then we'll put a couple rods in there and check a couple rods. Just making sure, guys, like I say, that this was you know, whoever done the machine work done it how they were supposed to, because we're finding a lot of stuff on this motor that's not, it's not the way I would have done it, but it is what it is. So we're going to put it back together. All right, I'm ready to put this thing down in there. Guys, I'm a firm believer in Lucas. I love this Lucas stuff. They don't sponsor me, but maybe someday they will. But I'm going to go ahead and put some lube these cam bearings while I can get to them. They're a little bit easier to get to right now. So I'm going to put a little bit of lube on them cam bearings, like I say, while I can get to them right now. Just try to get that coated good. Guys, I don't know how professional engine builders do it. I only know how hillbillies do it. And I ain't even a good hillbilly. But we'll do it this way. If it ain't right, we know who to blame. Right? I seen you put that paint on here yesterday, which I never used that motor coater before. I gotta tell you guys, I'm a big fan of it. A big fan of it. Lube on these bearings. I'm just about to screw up because I'm going to set that crank in here. I got to put that rear main in there. Duh. Almost forgot that, didn't I? This is, like I say, I really like this Lucas stuff, guys. Okay. Now we got some lube on the cam bearings in there. Alright guys, here I am with my Lucas again. Like I say, this assembly lube, the stuff that they had on there, that old brown sticky stuff, I don't know what that was, but man, that stuff was awful. It was awful. Make sure you put these in order, guys. See here, here's number 4. So you can see the number right there. There's 4. And then when I took these bearings off, I numbered them here. So I made sure I got them back how I took them out. Now being new, it's probably not necessary. See how I just threw that bolt down there in the dirt? I do that to test myself. Most of the times I fail the test. Make sure you get these on the right way. There, you can see that number better. See, 5. Well, that was being ornery. There it is. And then see, when I say make sure you get them on the right way, there's somebody. I done a stupid thing, guys. I took the job as a local zoning inspector. What an idiot. So what I'm saying the right way, you see the notch here, and then on the block in here, see your notch here? You want to put these notches so they line up. One's on this side and one's on this side. There we go. I know you're thinking, what an idiot. I don't know what he's doing, but I'll show you what I'm doing here in a minute. what I done there is I want to make sure all these are seated down on there. I want to make sure that they're all seated. And that crank is spinning free. And then, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, he's bragging on that assembly lube. And he never even used it. All right, those are all down the holes now. So now I can take my ARP. Like I said, guys, a lot of guys talk about torquing and they say use oil, you know, use moly lube, use anise. ARP is the fastener people. So who would know more? Who would know more than ARP about this? So that's why I'm going to do what they say. Just put a little coat of this on.